All right, we are back with our limited set review, and today, or I mean, it's all the same day. I'm recording these all on the same day, pretty much back to back. But we are looking at Riot's favorite color in the game. It seems like purple. I will say, as a preface, that I mean, maybe this will change by the time I finish rating all these. Maybe I'll be like, what I was talking about. But purple doesn't seem like too insane and sealed. Um, but yeah, let's get to it. My name's Emil. I go by Kitties on UVS. I'm a noob at this, so I realize now that I kind of need to click on the cards for you guys to see the ones on the right and left. So I'm gonna try and do that, but bear with me, and I hope this is helpful. Bewitching Spirit is the first card we're looking at. Oh man, this card is good. Um, if you have this card in Pike, if you, I played against a friend. If you guys want to run sealed pools before pre Rift comes out, you can go to playriftatlas.com, and they have a sealed pool generator where you can actually play the games. He pulled a pool with three of these in Pike. If you have this card with Pike, if you got a couple of these with Pike, you are just gonna make your opponent discard their whole hand. Like it's if they don't have a way to kill this thing, it's actually horrible. And in that context, it's good. Uh, I mean, making your opponent discard a card in this game is typically pretty good. Um, Especially because there's not that much draw in this set. It's very problematic. A lot of times, and it's gonna hurt. And going second, it's good. Going first, it's a little worse. But yeah, if you don't have Pike, this card's not as good. It probably goes down to like a playable. But I'm grading it based off my own traumatic experience. Then we have Crescent Guardian. It's an on it's a fairly statted 4 drop. If you played a spell this turn, you may pay a purple power as an additional cost to play me. If you do, I enter ready. This is gonna be like at the top of playable for me. Um, 4 mana or cycle one for a ready 4 might is good. Like it's fine. That's like you like that. But it is conditional on the fact that you need to play a spell. So otherwise, it's just an on rate 4 drop, which is good. Evershade Stalker is also very playable. It's an on rate 3 drop. It lets you discard and draw one. The lead card selection, that's pretty good. Um, Isolate. Isolate is a play if necessary. I mean, this card, move an enemy unit from a battlefield to space. Then, if there's an enemy unit alone, draw one. At that battlefield, draw one. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, sometime every now and then this is gonna win you a game. Like this is a card. There's similar ones in orange or whatever where like yeah, if you're like really low on interaction and you just need like you're like oh man I need something, some kind of spell. But yeah, it's in play if necessary category of cards where like I am desperate for a way to like steal wins. Lunar Moon. This card is bad. Now I'm gonna explain why. Okay, it's not the worst card we've looked at that goes in the bad category. But you're paying 3 mana to discard a card, then draw two. But you have to use this card, so you're paying 3 mana to gain 0 card advantage. Um, that's not good. Again, it's not like the most horrible card you could play, but spending 3 mana to have as many cards as you had before and not affect the board at all, to just card select a couple cards is like pretty mediocre. And you would rather play any other draw spell over that. Yeah, it's not great. Megatusk. Megatusk comes in like one of the seeded packs, It's weird because it's like a purple card. I guess it's because of Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix has the XP stuff. Yeah, that's the pack it comes in. It's an on rate 6 drop, and then you spend 3 XP and you give units here ganking this turn. So it has to already be on a battlefield for that to be good. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm gonna say this card is playable. Yeah, it's playable simply because like giving all your units ganking can be like really good sometimes. It's on rate 6. It's fine. Um, it's fine. Mr. Reap. This is another playable card. If you're running EXP stuff, yeah, you probably want to play this. It's the only 2 drop that like gives you 2 XP. Um, I'm gonna say play if necessary, but it's like a slightly different context of play if necessary. Like it's more of like a play if it's necessary for the EXP strat you're going. Um, Starcrossed. Starcross is one of those cards where depending on what build you're going, it's gonna be really strong. But in some builds it's just gonna feel kind of mediocre. Nah, I'm gonna say Starcross is good. It's good. But barely. It's barely good and limited. 3 mana recycle one to bounce a unit, but you have to bounce one of yours is kind of mid. But the reaction speed is kind of insane. You can use it to bait stuff out and then just react and save your unit and then put them back unit. Vicious Snapjaws. This is like super play if necessary. Oh, when another friendly unit dies, gain 1 XP. That card, like this is not gonna trigger that often. It's like the definition of like play if necessary. Walking Roost. When you play me, this is an overstated 5 energy, but the downside is that gives your opponent a bird. That doesn't sound like a big deal, but birds can score points. And for that reason alone, I don't love this card. I feel like my friend told me he really liked this card, and I trust his opinion a lot on limited stuff because he's, an extremely good Magic player. But I think giving your opponent the opportunity to score off the bird feels really suspect, almost to the point where like I think this card is bad, but out of respect to my friend, I'm gonna put it in playable. But maybe I'm misremembering, and he was talking about another card. In which case, in my heart, this card is like at the bottom of play if necessary. But for my boy Skylar, I'm putting it in playable. And if you didn't say that, I'm sorry for slandering you. It was an accident. I didn't mean it. Whoopsie. Then we have Abandon. This card's bad, and sealed, of course. And constructed, I'm pretty sure this card's gonna be totally fine, if not really good, depending on how the meta shakes out. Might be better than a hard bargain. It's a counter spell, except instead of putting it in the trash, you put it back in their hand, and then you get to predict. You get to look at the top card of your main deck. And the reason this card is not great is because sorry, water break. The reason this card is not great is because you are like 1 for 0ing yourself for tempo, which can be good, except there's not that many spells in this format that you're like, oh my god, if I don't counter this, I'm gonna lose the game, and if I do counter this and I get one more turn, I'm gonna win the game. Like, how many scenarios are you gonna run into where that's the case? I don't think that many. So I would say like you would want a card that is like less conditionally useful than Abandoned in most sealed decks. But you can run it as a one of, like maybe this is a bad card, is like a little harsh, but I would avoid running it most of the time. Then we have Angler Beast. It's a 5 energy recycle 1. Um, and when you play me, return all units with 2 might or less to their owner's hands. God, something about this. There was like a Hearthstone card like this, right? Except it like killed all two two might like units, something like that. Um, I mean, this card is hilarious with the bird, right? Like you can bounce it. I'm gonna put it in play if necessary because it's got some funny synergy lines. But this card is not good. It's not that good. Again, like maybe with sideboard stuff, if you knew your opponent was doing a lot of silly stuff, you could do it. But I don't know. Then we have Blast Cone. Uh, when you play this, you may move an enemy unit. When you move an enemy unit, you may exhaust this to stun it. So this is kind of like the green card, except you can the green 2 mana recycle 1. It's a charm, but also if you're at level 6, you get to stun it. That card's pretty good. And I think this card is pretty good too. It also like synergizes with that card if you're also running green. So there's maybe I'm overrating this card. Like maybe it doesn't deserve to be in good. But charm effects are just so strong. And yeah, like it's more expensive than the other one, but the fact that the stun is unconditional is like very useful. Uh yeah, it's pretty good. Next card up is Existential Dread. And I almost want to say this card is a must play. I'm going to put it in must play for now because there's so little hard removal in this set. And being able to like stun an enemy unit and like just have them send it in for nothing or even trade itself away or being able to rebuke it for 2 more runes is like it's just that strong. Um so I'm going to put it in must play for now. Um and yeah, maybe I'm overrating it, but based off like my constructed experience and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty strong. Insightful Investigator. So when I first saw this card, I thought it was like really good because I didn't read the last part. So originally I read this as a on rate 3 drop with when you play me, choose an opponent, like look at your opponent's hand, and then you may pay 2 XP to make them discard a card from their hand. And that's where I stopped. And I didn't read the part where it said, and they draw one. Uh, that's mediocre. This card is like play if necessary, but it's like near the top. I mean, being able to see what's in your opponent's hand is always very useful. I'm gonna put it in playable actually. That's always useful, but um, yeah, I don't know. Scryer's Bloom. This is a nod to Magic, I guess, because they use the word scry. But they're legally distinct scry is predict. So it's a gear. This card would be so much better without this first line of text. This enters exhausted, and then you pay 1 energy and tap and kill it to predict 2. So look at the top 2, and you can either recycle them. You get a candlelit trigger pretty much, and then you draw 1 and gain 1 XP. In XP decks, you're gonna want to play this a lot of the time. In most other decks, you can play it. I'm gonna put it at the top of playable because you definitely play it in XP decks, but in non-XP decks, it's not great. It's not great. Maybe it should be more of a play if necessary status. We have Sinister Poro. When I attack, you may pay 1 to move an enemy unit here to base. So this is not like a fake 2-drop. But it's not bad. It's just like it's actually better to play later in the game. But it does require that your opponent not stack a field to be useful, which most of the time they are going to do if they see you play this. They're like not going to leave something alone for your Poro to just like run up and push it back and score. So it does put pressure on your opponent though. Like this card is hard because part of me wants to be like, this is bad. I feel like it's the kind of card I'm gonna have to see in action or think about in action because I don't think I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna put it in play if necessary. This is kind of the unfortunate thing of the tier listing is that like there should be like there should be like a situationally useful card, not horrible. Like there should be something like between play if necessary and this is bad to say like, hey, you probably shouldn't play this, um, but you can. Like it's not gonna like be the worst thing ever. Like this next card, the list. This card is trash. Uh, like you have to name a tag and then you can give a unit -2 with that tag this turn. Like I don't know. It's just no. Okay, okay. I'm gonna be maybe I'm gonna get made fun of for putting this in play if necessary, but like most opponents are not gonna be playing a tag style deck. It effectively like you're gonna give something -2 once, maybe twice for 1 mana in a card. And that's not like the most useless thing in the world, but it's not great. Then we have Bone Skewer. Um, this this card is also like, it seems bad to me. Two energy recycle one to choose a battlefield, and then look at your opponent's hand, and they play a card, and you stun it. So but like things can go so wrong for. Nah, this card's playable. What am I talking about? Like I always when I'm thinking about this card, I always kind of like undervalue the stun aspect. Like I think, this is like hand ripping. I think this card is playable. It's not. Like, you might want to play this most of the time, just to like. But there are situations where you're just gonna be looking at someone's hand, because you can't afford to pull whatever it is out. Conscription. In an XP deck, Conscription's a good card. Outside of an XP deck, this card is hot doo doo. Like spending 5 and recycling 2 to get to steal 1 3 might or less and send it to your base is extremely mid. If you can steal anything, that's a different story. That's a different story. Evelyn. I think Evelyn is a good card. In sealed. Again, like charm effects are very strong in sealed because your opponent's gonna probably gonna have access to some different stuff. Uh, you know. Uh, um, but yeah, I mean, charm on a body with backline, so it's not like it's killing itself like that orange card that moves an enemy unit in. A lot of times she's gonna be pretty safe. So I put her in the good category, um, but not amazing. Then we have Heedless Resurrection. Um, this card is a lot worse since the rule change. Heedless Resurrection. So it's 2 energy, recycle a purple, and at reaction speed, you can play a unit from your trash that costs no more energy, no more power than the killed unit. You have to sack a unit to play this card. The thing is that now, when you play a card, you you have to choose the targets. at the same time as you pay the cost. Um, so you choose targets and then you pay costs and and then it resolves. So you can't you can't basically what I'm trying to say is you can't choose the unit that you just killed for the cost to come back. So it's not like a blink. You can't just like dodge removal and bring it back. And even if you could, I'm not sure how good that would be in limited right now for that cost at least. Um so I'm going to put this in this is bad. I think that's bad. I think it's too situational. Okay, this Kha'Zix card though, very good. It's got ambush. You guys know I love ambush. It's got 4 energy. It's got recycle purple, and if it attacks or defends alone, I mean if it attack or defends against an enemy who is alone, it gets +2 might, and gains 2 XP. And I actually have to check the ruling on this. Now this is like only never mind. So this wouldn't apply unless you kill before its designated attacker, kind of thing has to be alone. Um, so yeah, I mean, card's great and XP build obviously, but it's also just good in general. I think if you're playing purple, you're playing this card. Then we got Meduli the Gatekeeper, uh, and this card is trash. I hate to say it, but it's a 7 energy recycle of purple for it's understated. It can't be readied, and you can move it to an occupied enemy battlefield for a power if my might is greater than the total might of enemy units there. There are some extremely fringe scenarios where this is going to do something, and then the rest of the time, it's really bad. This card is really bad. This is a bad card. I think that's exactly the kind of card that was. Yeah, that's exactly kind of the card I was thinking of when I made the this is really bad category. I mean, this thing is, it's understated for cost. It has some weird ass downside for whatever reason. Like, I don't know, maybe one day this will be playable in something, but not today. Then we have Purple Pike, which is an on rate 3 drop, 3 might 3 energy, and it's got backline and it can be played hidden. And once each turn, when an enemy unit dies while I'm at a battlefield, you get a gold token. Um, this card is playable. It's just not gonna happen that often. I feel like, and how good is getting gold? Like it's playable in that it's a, it's an on rate 3 drop. Uh, and sometimes they're gonna attack in and have it backline. It's gonna live, but yeah, not great. Then we got Syndra. Um, while I'm in a showdown, your spells have repeat 2, and a purple. That's pretty mediocre. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty much. I can't really think of spells that I would like want to repeat for that much. Uh, yeah. I mean that's all there is to say. This card is mid. From I don't really see why you'd want to play it. Um, then we got Baron, which everybody's hyped for this card. It looks sick. Um, this card at 10 recycle 3 is actually a lot more playable than Elder Dragon. Adding the Baron Pit is pretty interesting in sealed. It's going to be a lot harder for your opponents to deal with that. They don't have Coal of the Week. And then obviously it has can't be chosen by spells and abilities, and other friendly units have +2. Because of the cost being a little lower than Elder Dragon, this card is actually infinitely more playable. It has the +2 might buff, which is like really good. Um, Elder Dragon as a card, is more impactful in like constructed formats, and sealed Baron is about as impactful. It's like not hugely different, though they did just change the ruling on Elder Dragon apparently somehow. But the difference between 10 and 12 mana is pretty huge. So while when I looked at Elder Dragon, I was kind of like, haha, like if you have this card, you have to play it, so it goes in must play. And I think you would play it because you can build your deck so that it becomes more playable. Baron is actually legitimately just very, very strong and sealed, and you would obviously be happy to see it. Um, Curse Sarcophagus is interesting. Um, Never mind, this card sucks. I mean, I guess like, oh, it's so much value, but like, you play it, you banish everything, and then you can play a banish unit, but you have to pay its costs. Uh, I don't. I'm getting. This is how you guys should know I'm getting tired that I like that card, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Now this card is actual dog. This card is terrible. Uh, Purple Diana. I can't in good conscience give this good because my I have a friend who hates this card. I actually don't think that it's that bad. I think double Raven Bloom passive on ambush is like pretty dope. The main thing that sucks about it is that it starts below rate, but it's playable if you have the right deck with a lot of reaction speed stuff, which there isn't that much of in this set that I can think of off the top of my head. But there are things, and you have to remember you have access to like, like you can play like a purple, orange, green XP build and play like, you can play combat experience, which usually feels terrible if you don't have the XP yet. But if you have the XP, it's plus. If you don't have the XP, it still gives this thing +3. If you do have the XP, it gives this thing +5. There are ways to make it work. And then Vex, purple Vex. Um, this card, I mean, I think everybody knows by now if they've been paying attention that this card is kind of insane. If this card's in your pool and you're playing purple, you play this card. No questions asked. It's a little bit less useful in this because people aren't playing as many stupid accelerate units all the time. But it's on rate. It has deflect. It stops accelerate. It stops ambush units is probably the biggest thing. Actually, I don't know why my mind went to accelerate, but yeah, this card's really really good and constructed and also in sealed. So yeah, um, it's funny because I felt like purple was weaker, but I think it has the most must play cards out of any color I've done so far. So purple has the best like high end cards, but it does not have many good cards. I think it has the most bad cards. Yeah, just barely beats out red. Uh, but so purple is a polarized color, and it's some of these cards are like very synergy dependent. Some not so much. Yeah, I mean, I I I hope I don't get clowned too hard for this, but nah, y'all aren't gonna clown me, right? Um, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. We're looking at the orange. I hope you guys enjoyed, and um, yeah, I was a little bit less confident about some of these ratings, maybe because I'm a little tired, and also because it's just harder to place. Like a lot of these cards are, I mean, it's purple. They're a little bit more situational. which is part of why they're so good and constructed, because you can pick the ones like that you are more, like you can predict the constructed situations more consistently. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next and the final one of color, whatever the color is that I haven't done yet. Yellow's next. All right, see you.